Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Let's begin right away with our headlines. Officials of the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family led a sensitization workshop at the Center for the Promotion of Women and the Family in Yaoundé 3 subdivision aimed at equipping women and young girls with practical knowledge on menstrual hygiene. The initiative promoted safe hygiene practices, raised health awareness, and boosted participants' confidence in managing their menstrual health responsibly. Citizens across Cameroon are reflecting on the thin line between harmless fun and emotional harm as April Fool's Day unfolds. While the day is meant for light-hearted jokes, some residents say certain pranks crossed personal boundaries, sparking conversations about respect, sensitivity, and responsible humor. These stories and more will be yours in a bit. Thanks once more for joining us. Women and young girls have been empowered with practical knowledge on menstrual hygiene following a sensitization workshop organized at the Center for the Promotion of Women and the Family in Yaoundé 3 subdivision, held in the presence of officials from the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family. The initiative focused on promoting safe hygiene practices, improving health awareness, and strengthening the confidence of participants in managing menstrual hygiene responsibly. We have Promise Akante and Elise Yanda in the following report.
The menstrual cycle is a monthly hormone-driven sequence of events that prepares the female body for potential pregnancy. It comes with or without a woman and girls actually wanting it. It is therefore demanding both emotionally and financially. CAMERPAD, in collaboration with Plan International Cameroon, have organized a sensitization workshop on menstrual hygiene management at the Women's Empowerment and the Family Center in Yaoundé 3 in Sam with specific objectives.
Qu'on puisse comprendre qu'elles ont des besoins qui sont spécifiques en matière d'eau.
That they should understand that they have specific needs in terms of water, hygiene and sanitation, and that their needs should be given greater consideration. That is, when you go to school and need to change, you have infrastructures adapted for that, like having water, being able to lock the door from inside. There should be soap, trash can to dispose of your sanitary papers, and even the possibility of having pads readily available in school if a student does not have, because it can also happen.
Disponible à l'école si tu n'en as pas, parce que ça peut arriver également.
Organized within the framework of the 41st edition of the International Menstrual Hygiene Day in Cameroon, the place of the young girl remains a priority. The young girl is at the center of actions of Plan International Cameroon, and we will always be there to support every initiative that promotes the well-being of the young girl. Helping women and girls to better understand their menstrual cycle is therefore of utmost importance. It is a crucial question for the well-being of the young girl. First of all, it is a right, and to prepare her future, she needs to master her body, to take care of herself, to know how to manage her menstrual cycle, which is sometimes a delicate period. A woman's reproductive system is very delicate, open from the outside to the inside. Having a conducive environment during her menstrual period is indispensable, and lobbyists should pick up the challenge. For lobbying to be done so that public structures and even families create spaces for women and girls to feel secured during their menses. In schools, there should be toilets and water permitting the young girl to be serene during her periods. Sometimes young girls could miss classes during their menses, thus compromising her future. The menstrual cycle does not seek the opinion of women and girls, so their financial strength is tried during such moments. The representative of the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family hailed the initiative of reusable pads.
Ces serviettes réutilisables.
Reusable pads, because not every young girl has the means to buy pad every month. So we thank Camepad and Plan International Cameroon, who proposed a pack of reusable products for 1 year for the young girl during her menses. For more than 10 years, Camepad has been advocating for better sanitary conditions for women and girls. This year, in collaboration with Plan International Cameroon, the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family, as well as municipal and administrative authorities, the sensitization continues.
As April Fool's Day celebrations swept across Cameroon, many citizens questioned the fine line between playful pranks and hurtful acts, with some sharing personal experiences of how jokes went too far, touching on sensitive issues like relationships and family, and leaving emotional distress in their wake. Madoshe Kyate and Melanimbo.
Of April Fool's Day, a day typically reserved for light-hearted mischief and laughter, others view it as an opportunity for fun. Conversations with locals revealed a growing sentiment that the line between a playful joke and a hurtful act is often crossed. For many, a moment of joke can quickly become a source of frustration and emotional distress.
It bothers me, you know. I don't think that's a good joke. It's like you can sleep for nothing. I was given something. I thought it was real. It was true. But in the end, I got over it. I didn't react badly. I took it as a joke.
Residents expressed their frustration with the nature of certain pranks, particularly those that build up false expectations.
You don't play with people's feelings like that. When you do an April Fool's joke, it's supposed to be a game. We understand it's a joke. You shouldn't touch on people's sensitivities. If you do, it can escalate into something else. There are many other things she could have joked with. She could have said, I found your 100,000 francs or something that she will give me later in the evening. That would not be a problem.
The essence of the day is to engage in a game where everyone understands the context. However, others warn that things can escalate dangerous when jokers touch on people's sentiments, emphasizing that jokes involving personal relationships or family matters can have unintended and severe repercussions.
On an emotional level, when I know things aren't right, we have problems, and then she asks about the child and plays on April Fool's joke on me like that. What's the point? The marriage is over. Once it's done, it's done.
The consensus emerging from the street is that a joke is only successful if it respects the emotional boundaries of others.
We now talk religion in this newscast, where during this Lenten season 2026, the alumni of Catholic Seminaries of Cameroon embodied its motto, prayers, penance and sharing, by bringing joy to the orphans of the Antavi Association. On this April 1st, 2026, the minor basilica of Mary Queen of the Apostles, the organization led the president Pius Norbert Olinga and the Vice President Henri Eyebe IC donated dormitory supplies, food and 1 million francs CFA, providing essential support and care to the children. Sharon Aratanye and Madoshe Kyate.
As part of its annual Lenten activities, the collective of alumni of Catholic Seminaries of Cameroon, CASEMCA, organized a charity outreach to the Antavi Association in Volier, an orphanage dedicated to the care and upbringing of vulnerable children.
What we are doing today is to come to see these young persons, to help them, to help the association which is in charge of them, and we are making this during this period of Lent.
This association has as objective to provide material and moral support to the children of the orphanage, encourage and appreciate the caregivers and administrators, promote the spirit of charity and solidarity during the Lenten season.
Achieving on Sunday, on the Sunday, the Easter day. So we are committed to help, and we are here to do this help, to make this help for this association.
Exchange and interaction with children, a brief moment of prayer and reflection were part of the activities carried out, which gained a positive impact on both the children and the members of the association. The children expressed joy and gratitude for the support received. The Kasemka Sharing Land 2026 outreach was a success and impactful initiative. It demonstrated the power of collective action in addressing social needs and reinforced the importance of charity, especially during the Lenten season.
We now talk something else, where the bill is seeking to amend Section 170 of the Electoral Code was at the center of discussions when Minister of the Territorial Administration, Paul Attanganji, visited the Speaker of the National Assembly, Right Honorable Theodore Ndathu. The meeting, while officially a courtesy visit, was a strategy step by the minister to lay the groundwork for the controversial legislation that has already sparked nationwide debate. Bechantita.
The meeting, which focused on the Speaker's brilliant election as head of the legislative institution, was an opportunity for Minister Paul Attanganji to express the government's commitment to transparency and collaboration. The minister's decision to pay a visit to the Speaker before appearing before lawmakers to defend the bill is a testament to the government's willingness to engage in constructive dialogue.
To defend the project, so I thought it wise to go and pay allegiance and to greet him before going in front of the commission. And
the minister revealed that he decided to visit the Speaker to congratulate him on his election and to brief him on the upcoming bill.
Extend my congratulations after his brilliant election. And I think it's very important because it shows the sign of appreciation by the head of state, President Paul Biya, who, after meritorious services and after being in parliament for some time, is heading the institution.
The bill seeks to grant the President of the Republic unlimited power to extend the mandate of municipal councillors. The Speaker's response to Minister's visit will be closely watched, as it will give an indication of the National Assembly's stance on the bill. As the country awaits the National Assembly's decision on the bill, one thing is clear. Attanganji's visit to the Speaker was more than just a courtesy call. It was a strategic move in a high-stakes game of politics.
So we had a discussion, and he said it's important that we do the job and work collectively. We are in charge at our humble level, political parties, and the National Assembly has to do a lot with political parties. So it was important for me to go and tell him, Mr. President, congratulations. We hope that you'll be a good flag bearer so that we can continue to support President Paul Biya.
The minister's assurance that the bill is aimed at lightening the electoral calendar and ensuring the smooth conduct of elections may not be enough to allay the fears of those who see this move as a power grab.
We now take you over to Limbe in the southwest region, where encroachments on its titles or land titles are now threatening the sector phase of a critical oil project, putting the Cameroon shipyard and industrial zone in Limbe at the center of a serious land grabbing controversy. As the government pledges to revive this industrial giant, managing this project is of high importance, alike are raising alarms over the potential impact on the national economy. We have Bechantita once more.
It all started on March 23. The shipyard's management was shocked to discover unauthorized work on its land registered under number 02387. Even more worrying, a 10-hectare plot is reportedly registered illegally.
After some inquiry, you understand that they have the intention to remove on your land title 10 hectares of land to create the town there. This is not normal because you have between two companies, one petroleum company and one company who makes the hot rock.
The issue goes beyond a simple neighborhood dispute. This land is a guarantee of confidence for international investors.
D'accord. Da haute tension. L'incident d'hier là, c'est na sonara on. Donc all this place. Chantier là-bas il flotte.
On the ground, anger is palpable. Employees authorized to cultivate the land to protect it while awaiting the start of construction have seen their crops ruthlessly destroyed.
You have the main workshop. From the moment you have 2 parts, it remains 3 parts to rebuild after in the second phase. You have this lagoon. We need to be reclaimed. After this lagoon is around 6 hectares. After the surface for around 6 hectares. So,
faced with the situation, CNIC does not intend to remain idle. The complaint was filed with the governor of the Southwest region on March 24. Legal action is also being considered to protect this national industrial asset. There is total incomprehension, especially since on February 10, the presidency of the Republic reaffirmed its full support for the revitalization of the shipyard.
This land belonged to the state of Cameroon. Chantier Naval acts just here as what we call in French concessionnaire. Chantier Naval work here just as concessionnaire. At the beginning, this area belonging in the village calling Limbola.
The matter is now in the hands of the administrative and judicial authorities. The question is simple. Will land right and national industrial interest prevail over private interest? In Limbe, the Cameroonian maritime industry is waiting to find out if it can finally sail towards calmer waters.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, it is the 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's now take you beyond our borders to get updates of what make news. First up will be in South Africa, Senegal, and then Iran. These stories are compiled in the following report. A sharp increase in fuel prices is sparking anger among motorists in South Africa, even after the government introduced a temporary tax cut intended to ease the pressure. The reduction of the general fuel levy by £3 per litre was designed to cushion the impact of rising global oil prices linked to tensions involving Iran, but drivers say the relief remains insufficient. In major cities such as Johannesburg, many residents report that the soaring cost of fuel is worsening the overall cost of living crisis, that continued price hikes could drive up transport and food costs and place additional strain on already stretched households. A controversial new law in Senegal has drawn sharp reactions after President Bassirou Diomaye Faye approved legislation increasing the maximum prison sentence for same-sex relations from 5 to 10 years. The measure, overwhelmingly passed by Parliament, also imposes penalties and heavy fines on individuals accused of promoting or financing same-sex relationships. The decision has raised concern among international rights groups, including the Office of Volker Turk, and comes amid a wave of arrest and mounting pressure from religious and political leaders, notably Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, as debates over social values and human rights continue to intensify.
Amid mounting international pressure to end the conflict, Iran has reaffirmed its firm stance, insisting that any peace deal must fully satisfy its key demands. A senior diplomat stated that Tehran is open to a fair and balanced diplomatic solution with the United States, but will not compromise on core conditions, including an end to what it describes as aggression by the US and Israel. While Washington has proposed a comprehensive plan to curb Iran's nuclear and missile programs, Tehran maintains that negotiations are only taking place indirectly through mediators, underscoring the fragile path toward de-escalation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. It was a pleasure staying with you. Do enjoy the rest of the evening in the company of interesting programs over the Republican channel. Meanwhile, I will be yours again tomorrow when it's exactly 6 p.m. Good evening.